My wife thinks I'm the bad guy for suggesting she pitch in more around the house. I work 50 hours a week at a demanding job in corporate finance while my wife works part-time from home, about 20 hours spread across the week doing freelance graphic design. When I get home after a long day of back-to-back meetings and putting out fires, the house is usually a mess. Dishes piled in the sink like some kind of ceramic Jenga tower, laundry overflowing from the hamper, toys scattered everywhere like we're living in a Toys R Us after a Black Friday sale. I'm exhausted, my feet hurt, and I'm pretty sure I've forgotten what relaxation feels like, but I still help with dinner, bedtime routines, bath time, which is basically water warfare with our 3-year-old, and cleaning up every single night. Last Tuesday, I came home to find my wife binge watching some reality show about people who marry strangers, while our 2 kids, ages 3 and 5, were using the living room couch as a trampoline, and our dog had apparently decided the hallway was his personal bathroom. The kitchen looked like a bomb had gone off in a pasta factory. I stood there for a moment, taking it all in, feeling my eye twitch. Then I finally snapped. "Honey," I said, trying to keep my voice calm, "you're home way more than me. Can you please do more to keep things under control around here?" She muted the TV and stared at me like I'd just suggested she join a circus. "Excuse me? I'm just saying, you work 20 hours a week from home. I work 50 hours and commute. When I get back, it'd be nice if the house wasn't in complete chaos." Oh boy. Wrong thing to say. Her face went red. "My job is real work too, you know. Just because I'm home doesn't mean I'm sitting around eating bonbons and watching the hours tick by. I'm busy." I tried to backtrack. "I didn't say your job wasn't real work. I'm just asking if you could do a bit more since you have more time here. I'm doing my full-time job plus half the housework and childcare. I'm running on fumes here." "Half?" She scoffed. "You think you do half? You come home, play with the kids for an hour, and think you're father of the year. I do way more than play with them for an hour. I do bedtime. I do baths. I do weekend breakfast. Oh wow, you do the bare minimum of parenting. Someone alert the press." This went back and forth for a while until she stormed off to the bedroom. The kids just watched us with wide eyes while eating crackers off the floor. Parenting goals right there. Now here's where it gets interesting. She barely spoke to me for 3 days. Then her mom called. Oh, yes, my wonderful mother-in-law, who thinks I'm never good enough for her precious daughter, called to tell me I was being unreasonable and stuck in the 1950s, because apparently wanting a clean house when both adults are working makes me word cleaver. I was fuming, but I decided to take a different approach. I suggested marriage counseling. My wife rolled her eyes but agreed, probably thinking the therapist would side with her. Our first session was 2 weeks later. I laid out everything. My hours, her hours, the state of the house, my exhaustion. I tried to be fair and not make her sound lazy, because I honestly don't think she is lazy. I just thought we needed better balance. Then the therapist asked my wife to describe her typical day. And this is where the first twist hit me. Like a freight train. My wife broke down crying and revealed that she's been struggling with severe anxiety and depression for months. She said she wakes up every day feeling paralyzed, that the mess overwhelms her so much she doesn't know where to start, so she just freezes. The TV isn't entertainment, it's escape. She admitted she's been having panic attacks when I'm at work and has been hiding it from me because she felt ashamed. I sat there completely stunned. I had no idea. None. She said she didn't want to burden me because I was already working so hard, and she felt like she should be able to handle everything at home but just couldn't. Every day she'd promise herself she'd clean up, and every day she'd end up frozen on the couch, hating herself. I felt like the world's biggest jerk. Here I was, angry about dishes, while my wife was drowning mentally and I'd been too wrapped up in my own frustration to notice. We left that session with a plan. She'd see a psychiatrist, start therapy, and I'd be more understanding and involved in helping her through this. I also agreed to hire a cleaning service twice a month to take some pressure off both of us. But wait, there's more. Because life apparently loves plot twists. About a month into her treatment, my wife sat me down with her laptop. "I need to show you something," she said. She pulled up her work records from the past 6 months. Turns out, her 20 hours a week was actually closer to 35. She'd been taking on extra projects to help save for a down payment on a bigger house, something she wanted to surprise me with. The extra work, combined with her mental health struggles, had pushed her to a breaking point. I felt about 2 inches tall. "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked. "Because you were already stressed, and I thought I could handle it," she said quietly. "I thought if I could just push through and save enough money, we could move somewhere with a yard for the kids, and you'd be so happy. But I just fell apart instead." So here's where we ended up. My wife started medication and therapy, which has helped tremendously. She cut back her freelance hours to actually 20 per week. We hired a cleaning service that comes every other week. I started working from home 2 days a week so I could help more during the day and actually see what she was dealing with. And you know what I discovered on those work from home days? Taking care of 2 small kids while trying to work is absolutely brutal. Our 3-year-old interrupted my Zoom call to show me that he'd figured out how to flush his toy cars down the toilet. Our 5-year-old decided to help make lunch and nearly burned down the kitchen. I wanted to crawl into a hole. I called my wife that evening and apologized. Really apologized. "I had no idea how hard your days were," I admitted. "I'm sorry I made you feel like what you were doing wasn't enough." She cried. I cried. It was a whole thing. 6 months later, we're in a much better place. The house isn't pristine, but it's manageable. My wife's mental health has improved significantly. We split chores more intentionally now, with a shared calendar and everything. Very romantic. I know nothing says I love you like a color-coded cleaning schedule. We also have a weekly check-in where we talk about how we're really doing. Not just fine or okay, but actually doing. Turns out communication is pretty important in a marriage. Who knew? And the biggest twist of all? We did end up buying that house with a yard. not from her secret savings alone, but together. We moved in last month, and watching our kids play in the backyard makes all the stress worth it. So was I wrong for asking my wife to do more around the house? Yes and no, I wasn't wrong for wanting more balance, but I was absolutely wrong for not seeing that my wife was struggling and needed help, not criticism. Sometimes the person sitting on the couch isn't lazy. Sometimes they're drowning, and they need a life preserver, not a lecture. Lesson learned.